Every year, you make money. And every year, that money buys less. You haven't changed your habits. Your paycheck looks the same. But something invisible is picking your pocket, and it never stops. That something has a name. Inflation. And it is the single most powerful force quietly destroying your financial future right now. Most people think inflation is just rising prices. They notice gas costs more. Groceries take a bigger chunk of their paycheck. A coffee that used to cost $2 now costs $5. They shrug. They complain. And then they move on. But that's not what inflation actually is. That's only what inflation looks like on the surface. Underneath, something far more serious is happening to your money. And if you don't understand it, you will spend your entire life working harder, earning more, and somehow falling further behind. Here's what nobody explains clearly enough. Money is not just a number on a screen. Money is a claim on real things. On your time. On goods. On services. On a better future. When inflation rises, those claims shrink. Your dollars are still there in your account. But each one silently loses the ability to purchase what it could before. Economists call this the erosion of purchasing power. And it is relentless. Think about this. In 1990, $100 could fill an entire shopping cart. Today, that same $100 barely covers a week of groceries for one person. Your money didn't disappear. It's still in your wallet. But its power was slowly, quietly, systematically stolen from you. And here is the part that stings most. Inflation doesn't care how hard you work. It doesn't care how disciplined you are. It doesn't care if you save diligently or cut every unnecessary expense. If your money is sitting in a savings account earning 1% interest while inflation runs at 4 or 5%, you are getting poorer in real terms every single day. Nobel Prize winning economist Milton Friedman spent decades studying inflation. He called it a tax. Not a tax voted on by Congress. Not a tax you see on your pay stub. A hidden tax. A tax that governments and central banks impose on your savings without ever asking your permission. That word matters. Hidden. Because the most effective way to take something from someone is to take it so slowly, so quietly, that they never notice it happening. Let's go deeper. Why does inflation happen in the first place? The simplest explanation is supply and demand. When more money chases fewer goods, prices rise. When central banks, like the Federal Reserve, print more money or keep interest rates near zero for long periods, more dollars flood the economy. Those dollars chase the same amount of products. Sellers see the demand. Prices go up. But it's not just about printing money. Inflation is also shaped by supply chains, energy costs, geopolitical events, wage growth, and consumer expectations. When people believe prices will rise tomorrow, they buy more today. Which drives prices higher? Which confirms their belief? It becomes a self-fulfilling cycle. After the 2008 financial crisis, the Federal Reserve flooded the economy with cheap money. Interest rates dropped to near zero and stayed there for years. For a decade, inflation stayed low. Many economists breathed a sigh of relief and declared the problem managed. Then 2020 happened. COVID-19 broke global supply chains overnight. Governments pumped trillions of stimulus dollars directly into household bank accounts. Factories shut down. Shipping routes collapsed. And suddenly, enormous amounts of money were chasing dramatically fewer goods. By 2022, inflation in the United States hit 9.1%. The highest in over 40 years. The price of eggs doubled. Housing costs exploded. Car prices reached historic highs. And everyday Americans watched their purchasing power vanish faster than at any point in a generation. You lived through it. You felt it. Maybe you're still feeling it now. But here is where your understanding of inflation needs to shift from feeling it to understanding exactly how it targets your wealth. And what to do about it. Behavioral economist Richard Thaler, who won the Nobel Prize in economics in 2017, identified a dangerous phenomenon he called money illusion. Most people evaluate their financial situation based on the number of dollars they have, not on what those dollars can actually buy. If your salary goes from $50,000 to $55,000, you feel richer. Even if inflation rose 6% that year. In real terms, your purchasing power actually fell. Your brain was not designed to naturally account for slow, invisible erosion. It sees the bigger number and feels safe. This is one of the most costly cognitive errors in personal finance. And it happens to nearly everyone. So where does your money actually go? Think about every dollar sitting idle. In a mattress. In a checking account. In a low-yield savings account. That dollar is not staying the same. It is slowly dying. At 4% annual inflation, $100 loses roughly half its purchasing power in about 17 years. Silently. Without you doing anything at all. Now multiply that by your savings. Multiply that by decades of working life. The numbers are devastating. This is why simply saving money is no longer a safe financial strategy. Saving money used to work when interest rates were higher than inflation. Your money grew faster than it shrank. But in today's economic environment, saving alone without investing is a guaranteed slow path to falling behind. This is the critical shift in thinking that separates those who build wealth from those who spend their lives feeling like they're always one paycheck from falling apart. Investing legend Benjamin Graham, the man who taught Warren Buffett how to think about money, wrote about this in The Intelligent Investor. He argued that every investor must account for inflation as a permanent, ongoing enemy of their purchasing power. Not a temporary problem. Not an economic anomaly. A permanent force that demands a permanent strategy. That strategy is putting your money to work in assets that grow faster than inflation erodes. What kinds of assets? Broadly speaking, stocks. Real estate. Commodities. Inflation-protected securities. Index funds. These are vehicles that have historically outpaced inflation over long time horizons. Let's look at stocks specifically. The S&P 500, an index of the 500 largest American companies, has returned an average of roughly 10% per year over the past century. Even after accounting for inflation, the real return has been around 7% annually. That means money invested in a broad stock market index fund has historically grown far faster than inflation has eroded it. The same cannot be said for cash sitting in a traditional savings account. This does not mean investing is without risk. Markets fall. Recessions happen. Your portfolio can lose value in the short term. But the Trinity study, one of the most referenced research papers in personal finance, demonstrated that a diversified portfolio of stocks and bonds has historically survived and grown through every inflationary period the United States has ever experienced. Including the stagflation of the 1970s, the aftermath of World War II, and the turbulent 2020s. Time is the variable that changes everything. The longer your money is invested in assets that outpace inflation, the more powerful the effect becomes. Here's the counterintuitive twist most people never consider. Inflation is not universally bad for everyone. For people who hold real assets, homes, businesses, stocks, inflation can actually increase the nominal value of what they own. A house bought for $200,000 in 2010 might be worth $500,000 today, partly because of inflation lifting all asset prices. The wealthy, who tend to hold their net worth in real assets rather than cash, often see their wealth grow during inflationary periods. Those who hold most of their wealth in cash and low-yield savings accounts, which disproportionately includes lower and middle-income Americans, are the ones inflation hits hardest. This is not an accident. This is the mechanism by which inflation quietly widens the wealth gap. The people who understand this invest their money in real assets. The people who don't leave their money in cash. And slowly, silently, the gap between them grows. So what do you do about it? Right now. Practically. With the money you have. First, take stock of where your money is sitting. If it's in a traditional account earning less than 1%, it is losing ground to inflation every day. High-yield savings accounts, currently offering rates between 4 and 5% in today's environment, offer a better short-term holding space. Second, begin investing consistently, even in small amounts. This is not advice to pick individual stocks or time the market. The evidence overwhelmingly supports a simple, consistent approach. Low-cost index funds that track broad market indices like the S&P 500. Automate contributions. Invest every month. Let time and compound growth do the work. Third, understand your real return, not your nominal return. If your investment account grew 5% this year but inflation ran at 4%, your real gain was roughly 1%. Train yourself to think in real terms, not nominal ones. This is the antidote to money illusion. Fourth, consider inflation-protected vehicles. Treasury inflation-protected securities, known as TIPS, are U.S. government bonds that automatically adjust with inflation. Series I savings bonds, commonly called I bonds, offer returns tied directly to the inflation rate. These won't make you wealthy, but they can serve as a hedge for money you need to preserve. And finally, invest in yourself. Your skills, education, and earning capacity are the most powerful inflation-beating assets you will ever own. A professional skill that commands higher wages will always outpace any savings account. Inflation is not going away. It is a permanent feature of modern economies. Central banks target roughly 2% annual inflation as a sign of a healthy, growing economy. Even in the best-case scenario, prices rise every year. Your money shrinks every year. The question is never whether inflation will affect your wealth. The question is whether your money will grow fast enough to stay ahead of it. Here is what separates the people who build genuine financial security from the people who spend decades working hard and still feel like they're running in place. It is not income. It is not discipline alone. It is whether the money they earn is being put to work in assets that outpace the silent, relentless erosion of inflation. The system was never designed to reward people who simply save. It was designed, deliberately or not, to reward people who understand how money actually works and invest accordingly. Every year, money enters your bank account. And every year, you get to decide whether inflation quietly steals it from you, or whether you put it to work faster than inflation can take it away. That decision, made consistently, is the difference between ending your working life with financial freedom or financial regret. The clock is already running. It never stops.